Like, I think our aperture for, like, we can't see God, right? And it's like, you know, when they're on the, you know, it's like if you see God, you'll die. You have to see the back. Or like, our aperture for the sublime is quite small, and we won't have the beatific vision
What
until
does that
we're
word
dead.
mean? Aperture?
Like the hole. Like if we're looking through if we're trying to look at God through a dark mirror, or, you know, like a little hole in the wall, it's too much. And I feel being here and seeing how people are living and what's going on and like participating in it, I'm very exhausted, and I'm looking forward in a big sense to going back to Adelaide.
Yeah.
And the irony and the cynicism and the failure where I can be comfortable.
The sarcasm.
Yeah. Sarcasm would be great.
Are you going to Latin Mass tomorrow here?
I think I'm going to the non-Latin one. Okay. I think it's a low Mass here, but right. I just want to hang out with people.
Yeah.
I just want to be with, I had a very brief confession, not in terms of confessing briefly, but it was one of the classic,
you just went there.
5 Hail Marys for the priests. Say your act of contrition.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I appreciate that.
Not a lot of feedback. We've got a lot of people to see. Yeah.
Especially when I'm in line, there's 20 people ahead of me. I'm like, I hope that's what he's giving them.
Yeah. You let me off easy.
What's the best stand-up show you've done and why?
Done? Oh. I once did a Crab Lab, which was a cool, weird room in Melbourne. And it was the first time I didn't really suck. I was okay. Like, I don't know, like in hindsight, I'm still bad often, but like it just went exactly like I wanted it to go. And then I left immediately and didn't want to see anybody. And I remember being very happy with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, people want to hang out afterwards after a show, but I
said this to you last night. Like, it's a vulnerable experience. Like, I think what you do is much harder than what I do when I don't know, because I speak to like 2,000 boys about why they shouldn't be looking at porn, and then I get off stage. The point is, I mean, if you do it right, you're being vulnerable to a degree. Like you're in a way, like it's almost like, it's not exactly like, but it's a little like undressing and being like, anyone can make fun of me at this point because I've given myself, I've got up here, I've given it a shot. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. Maybe you love me, maybe you hate me, and now I got to get off and face these people. Yes. And I know that a lot of them are going to feel obligated to be like, hey, good talk, thank you so much. And I don't know what I can trust and what I can't.
Trust is hard, but I find I don't want to let them down because I've just done the best thing I can do, and I've been as charming and as pleasant and as well thought out as I'm capable of being. And I am not that man. I'm much dumber and slower. And it's like, if there's any if you've enjoyed this and there's been any magic to it, let me not spoil it. Let me take myself away.
Yeah.
And also like not feel whatever power thing is happening when you're off stage is very like you can. Women are never as interested in a comedian as they are when, like, during a comedy festival or when you're off stage.
Is that right?
Because you see there's a room full of people looking at you and laughing and acting like you're important. Yeah. So you seem like you're actually a weird nerdy person, but you seem very powerful and commanding and like important. And it's not a dynamic that I enjoy. So I think that's true of musicians as well. And I remember when I was much younger, Stephen Morrissey of the Smiths, I heard that he would, after a show, he would go and read. Like, he would read Yeats or Keats or something, and he would just be in the hotel reading, and women would be and I don't know that Morrissey would necessarily be interested in the women, but women are screaming into the hotel, and Johnny Marr would open the window and go, sorry ladies, he's reading. But that seemed like the sane thing to do, is to go, that was the show and now I'm returning to a normal stable life, rather than like, let me put some cocaine up the nose and let's keep this party going. I never want the good feeling to go away. Just let it go and get out. I don't want to be around it.
How do you discern whether you did a good job or not?
Oh, Yeah. If people are frowning. Frowning and silent. No one tries to be polite in the comedy. Okay. With music, I found it much harder because you'd play a song and then at the end, you didn't know how the song was going until it was over, and then you could gauge the response. But comedy, you know every second.
You feel every
if it's there.
movement in the crowd.
Yeah.
And at these comedy clubs, though, do you feel like they are trying to give you a fair shake because they realise you're not yet a professional and you're just here to do your best? Or no?
They want everyone to succeed. They want to have a nice time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a big room full of Scottish people and they want to hurt you, because that's who the Scottish are. God bless them. I'm going to have some of this wonderful Aberlour whiskey that my grandfather was from, Shanna. Yeah, they want you to have a good time. They want to have a nice time.
Who's they? The people, the audience?
Yeah, the audience.
Yeah.
No, the nebulous they who control society.
Well, when you said they, I thought you meant those who run the club.
Well, they definitely want you to do a good job.
Because that's very much within their interest.
No, everyone wants you to thrive.
When was your first stand-up, like real stand-up?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been going I'm really unsuccessful. Yeah. I don't know, 14 years now? Yeah.
Crikey, that's awesome.
I always knew I wanted to do it. When I was suicidal as a kid, my mum gave me, and it's the best thing anyone ever did for me, she gave me that book that had the Simsons episodes and all the quotes from it. It was like the first 10 seasons. And I think it like saved my life.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
It's a great book, and I should definitely get it again. I read it till it was in tatters and just like memorized, you know, those men who like will just quote the Simpsons.
Yeah.
That was me as all of my childhood was just me going, like in the Simpsons when, and then saying which is like not fun to be around.
I don't know.
Necessarily. Sometimes it's a great bit and we all remember it fondly. But I just felt like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to not even give that feeling to other people, but I wanted to be in that feeling and hold on to it, and that there was some obligation to do it. This is too open and heartfelt. I've been moved by Stubel and tired I am. I haven't even had, this is coffee.
We have a question from chat. Would you rather fight a moose or a bear from Tyler?
Bear. Much more impressive. I'll die either way. Why not do it in a way? You should see the bear and be able to mean it. I killed a moose. People would go, what are you, a monster? Why are you out there killing a moose? I saw a deer shooting thing today. Like someone said, on Jacob's Land, they go, the neighbour likes to come out here and shoot deer. And I looked at it. It was a big tube with corn in the bottom that deer will come and eat at. And then the neighbour just comes up, bang! Seems like the least sporting thing in the world. What's the next question?
Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you liked, and if you loved, subscribe.